You feel that now? I feel like Rocky in this one, baby. Let's go. Alright, check it. Blast from the past, back from the future. So if I pull the trigger in the past, know you and your future. I'm still hustling, still hugging the block. The referee to the shit, I'm still calling them shots. I can't be stopped, that's what I told you. I'm living my life like a box of Crayolas. I'm cutting up white, smoking that green. Purple color pens, I'm still making this cream. I'm so sick, check my throat quick. My wrist light up a room like a handful of glow sticks. I'm like spoiled milk, the kids gone bad. Then it's the minutes my pen touches the pad.
Welcome to the Rick A Show. Happy 2026. Happy New Year's. I hope your New Year's resolution is still going on, although January 14th is known as the day where they all end. So I hope you're still keeping up. Thank you for tuning in. If you tuned in last week, today I got a special treat for you. Episode 231. No stranger to any of my social media and any of my platforms. I have none other than the award-winning podcast producing, podcast host, and actor, Jason Enrique, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed, Rick. It's a pleasure to be on again on the Rick A Show. Had a blast the first time I came on the show before, and also following up with the 2 a.m. crew. I've been having a blast with that as well. So I just love everything that's been going on, and it's been great ever since we crossed paths.
So I'm getting on the mic. That's a handheld lavalier mic, right? There's like a little feedback at the end of all your sentences. We'll just if it gets too crazy, we'll switch it up.
No problem.
So for those of you who don't know, Jason co-hosts and co-produces the 2 a.m. crew with me on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. But before then, I want to backtrack. I want to figure out how it was that we crossed paths. I know for a while I was following you, you were following me, and we tried to do something together. Like I was either going to be on first class, second place, or you were going to come to the Rick A Show. And this was 3 years now. 3 years ago, I think, maybe.
Yeah, man, time flies.
And I mean, you already had done, I guess, around 50 something episodes of first class, second place. Oh,
yeah.
Juan Bago had something to do with this. I had already seen your show and you started coming up on my feed, and I was following you. And Juan Bago was like, man, this guy reminds me so much of you. Like, you guys have that similar style of voice, even similar kind of physique. Although I look like I haven't slept in 6 weeks. And Bago was like, I think it'd be great if you and him do content together. And I remember we already had talked, but then I had sent you a video. He cut something up like the Dominican version and the Puerto Rican version or whatever. But
right.
You're not Puerto Rican.
No, that's a common misconception. So, I like, it's funny because up here in Jersey or New York, people always think that I'm Puerto Rican or maybe even Dominican at times. When I lived down in Florida for a number of years, people thought I was Cuban. So if I went to LA, they probably would have thought, "Hey, ¿qué pasa eso?" I don't know, but the thing is that at the end of the day, I am Colombian and Costa Rican. So I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm the other Rican.
Wow. So the mic is really bad. Like, it's not even letting you get. I hear all the points in, but it just, I get this reverb off speed.
Hold on a second.
Let's just run the test without the oh, now I hear. So while we
that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
It must have been the AirPods. The signal
It
from
must
the
have been,
AirPods.
yeah. But I can hear
So
you just fine, and as long as you guys can hear me, then we're good.
yeah, this is much better. So
Okay,
yeah,
good.
he had sent me a video, and I think that I had sent it to you, and we laughed about it. And then a couple of months went by, and I was working on a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, "Yo, I just need to pick this guy's brain, see where he's at, and do something with him." I invited you to the studio. You graciously came all the way from Jersey, and we recorded a fantastic episode of the Rick A Show, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, I was grateful for that as well. And that goes to show how busy I've always been when it comes to podcasting, because as soon as we finished doing taping of your show, I immediately went back to Jersey so that I could do my episode, my podcast. So I was basically doing back to back. I was pulling the double, but that's just been the norm for me for the past 4 years.
Yeah, and I think that we ended up pretty late because we were going to do an hour, and I think we did an hour 20, the hour 15, whatever it was. And
Right.
we did some photos and everything. And you ended up telling me, like, hey, I got to shoot back to the studio because now I got to do first, second place.
Right.
So obviously, let's start with that. We both mentioned podcasting already. How did you get into podcasting?
Yeah, so I got into podcasting because I've told this story before on my show and on other people's show as well, where I've always been a radio guy. I remember specifically in my teenage years, I was listening to a lot of radio. I was listening to a lot of Hot 97, Power 105, and when I was 18 or 19, I had my first job as a delivery driver, and at the time, we only had the radio to keep us entertained in the car. So I was just listening to a lot of Howard Stern, a lot of sports radio, Hot 97, Power 101, all the good stuff. And as the more I listened to radio, I started being more in tune with the on-air personalities more than the music and the content. And at the same time, they were also running these ads on the commercials for a school called the Connecticut School of Broadcasting that they used to have in Hasbrook Heights, but it's no longer there. And I was thinking, I'm really enjoying this radio thing, and I'm really getting inspired by these people that are on the air. And then I'm taking this commercial that they keep on playing as a sign that maybe I should check it out. Long story short, it didn't end up working out. Radio is a tough business to get into, and I wasn't feeling very confident with the school at the time that with the opportunities it was going to provide. So I just kind of went by. Like I just went, see ya later on to that dream. Fast forward to now. In the past couple of years, especially a little bit before COVID, podcasting really exploded. And I saw myself that maybe this could be my foray into what I wanted to do in radio initially, but it's my own creative freedom. I don't have to worry about ratings or the FCC or so on and so forth. I can do it the way that I see fit. And then when I first started First Class Second Place, I originally wanted to have it with me and a couple other people, but I ended up doing it solo because the other people, I had two people in mind. One, I just couldn't get the other guy to commit to it. He would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm down to do everything, and I can't wait to do it." Never moved on with it. And then the other one, he was 100% down to do with it, but I noticed that he's the type of guy that would get us canceled with the shit that he be saying, and I didn't want that the brand to get off in trouble before we even got popping. So I couldn't find anybody, but I was like, listen, if I don't get this thing done now, then it's never going to happen. Let me just start from the foundation, from the ground up, and then build from there. Don't wait for everything to just be perfect and fall in place. So I went into my closet and I recorded a 5-minute episode because it was soundproof, and it was just 5 minutes only. And I uploaded it, and I was like, okay, I'm officially a podcaster now. Now I got to go on to the next one. A couple hours later that day, I realized that it was September 30th, which is International Podcasting Day. So I took that as a sign that maybe I should be doing this going forward. 4 years later, and episode 199 dropping soon, tomorrow actually, First Class Second Place. Here we are.
199. That's a good milestone, my brother. You're very close to those big numbers now.
Yes. So I've been doing it for 4 years now. There has been some bumps and some ups and downs and some trials and tribulation. Nothing has gone, not everything has gone perfect, but okay. I wouldn't trade this experience in this journey for nothing, because I've learned a lot of things about people. I've learned a lot of things about myself, and if I really get down to the nitty gritty of it, I feel like one of the main reasons I got into podcasting, and I didn't figure this out too much later, was because I needed some sort of validation in my life. I tried to do a bunch of things in my life that just weren't panning out, and I was wondering if like I was even worthy of doing anything creative, and that kind of really upset me and depressed me and kind of got me down in the funk. But I pursued this opportunity, and it worked well for me. And I love everything that is going on, whether for better or worse. But I wouldn't take this experience away for nothing. And I've just been very grateful for the people that I've met, the people that I've worked with, and even for the people that I have worked with and it didn't work out, because I've learned to really keep my circle small and only focus on the people that I feel like I want to collaborate with and ascend with, as opposed to people that I only want to be in competition.
Okay, so in the spirit of we want to be as transparent as possible on this episode.
Absolutely.
We want to give everybody the nitty gritty. So you're into podcasting. What has been your biggest disappointment so far in podcasting?
My biggest disappointment, I feel like it's, I've always say that for me, it's always about collaboration, not competition. And unfortunately, there has been some people in the podcast stratosphere that have looked at it as or treated it as competition and not in a friendly way. I've had to hear things from other podcasters that I won't name, but things that were saying kind of negative about me, or they thought that I was trying to buy the style, or I was like a little too eager, or I came off as a person that needs to do therapy or get a hobby instead of doing this. And it was really disappointing because
Jesus Christ, that's cool.
Yeah, but I guess the most disappointing thing to me was that it was people that I thought were in my corner, and people that I could work with, for a very long time. I kind of looked at it as family, and it just wasn't happening that way. But as disappointing as that sounds, I feel like it was what I needed, because it centered me, it grounded me, it didn't get my head too big, and I don't want to be involved with anybody that our journeys and our goals and our determination and our motivation are not aligned. And that's not just in podcasting, that's just in everyday life. But I would say that I feel like I wasn't prepared for the negativity that potentially could come along with podcasting. And it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. So that was the most disappointing thing that I feel like I've experienced. But it's also been a great teacher for me as well. So
if I had to ask you, who is Jason Enrique, like at your core?
Jason Enrique.
And you're so prepped for this. This is why it's easy to interview.
Jason Enrique is a everyman. He is the black sheep. He is the billy goat. He is the person that not many people will look forward to do prevalent things or great things. But you can't judge a book by its cover. And I'm not somebody that has an ego or thinks highly of myself or anything like that. And not in a negative connotation either. It's not like I hate my own skin or anything. I just kind of like to be an example for people that, I'm just a regular human, just like everybody else. If you punch me, I bleed, and so on and so forth. So I have been able to accomplish a lot of things that I didn't think were possible, and meet great people that I never thought I would get a chance to meet. And I guess my whole message is that if anybody can, if somebody like me can do it, then anybody could. Because I'm not a deity, I'm not a god, I'm not anything special. I'm just a regular, normal human being who just likes to be in front of a microphone and has been able to make opportunities out of it. And if anybody wants to,
I lost you right there, but I can't. Okay. Last sentence was deity. I think the mic cut off, and you're
okay. I'm not a deity. I'm not somebody that's special.
I'm sorry. It's my Siri. Just give me 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. You're perfect. There's a Siri on the laptop. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. But I'm not a deity. I'm not anybody special. I wasn't born into wealth or anything like that. I'm just a regular, normal human being who's just been able to make the best out of opportunities that were presented right then and there. So my whole message about me and Jason Enrique is that if a guy like me can do it, just a regular old Joe that can do it, then anybody else could. Because there's no reason why you can't achieve whatever you want to do in life.
Okay, now you've been great so far. You've been leading me to my next question so far. So you mentioned accomplishments. Greatest accomplishment so far for you that you've achieved.
Well, I actually have to thank you for that, Rick, because
Oh, come on. I
up
mean,
until recently, it was the fact that I've been able to, after all of my years of and time and energy and money that I spend on doing something that I really love, and in 2025, it was a really rough year for me, and I posted this on social media where I feel like I desperately needed a win, and then in late 2025, I got a literal win where you and I had become the award recipients for
right
the best
there.
Latino, yes, for the Signal Awards, I believe. And I feel like after all of my hard work and time and money and energy that I spent, it was finally paying off, not just with validation, but an actual award. I've never won
Mm.
anything. I've never won ribbons. I never won trophies or anything like that. So
Really?
so having something
Nothing?
like this, having something like this was a validation and proof that all of my hard work was being paid off. And again, it's just another example that if I can do it, then anybody else can. So I would say that adding award-winning podcaster to my resume has been a
Mm.
huge accomplishment for me, I feel.
Well, there's going to be a bunch more in your future. And I also think that award winning is nice, but the respect of my peers is another. And I think that some of the peers that I have, you have the same, and they have the same amount of respect that, that I have for you. And I think that when you're in a space like ours, where there's new faces every day, and then you become one of those staples in this space, and your peers respect you, they respect your opinion. Um, that's bigger than any award. So you've garnered respect of a lot of people in this realm, and you work tirelessly for it. Um, and I didn't when we're doing the 2 a.m. crew and I approached you, I didn't feel like, hey, you know, let me see if you had to earn that. And you had to earn that by the consistency, constantly coming in and constantly saying yes, not only just to do the Rick A show, but to be on like you did, I think 3 or 4 different podcasts just in the last couple weeks.
Right.
So just that, the grind, man. And Ulysses Torrero one time told me, like, hey, and Jesse Torrero told me, you've earned this interview. Like, this is not a hobby for you. To me, this is what they told me. You've earned this interview. Like, you earned my time. And that's what I feel like you've done in the last few years. So
Yeah.
shout out to you, man.
Yeah, even like you said, just to piggyback off what you were saying with the whole awards thing and everything, and it is great, and I appreciate it and everything. But to add to that, I spoke about how I got an opportunity to work with people that I thought I would never get a chance to meet, like Joe Beningo and Tyson Roush and John Jasremski and all that stuff, and Gordon Damer. And these are guys that I've listened to way before I even thought about getting into podcasting, and then being able to work with them and not only work with them, but getting the respect for them. These guys that they do this for a living, they
Mhm.
have skin in the game, and to say that they feel like I have what it takes to belong, and they appreciate my work and they enjoy what I do. That's all. That's all the validation I really needed, and it just solidified my feeling that I am supposed to be doing this after all.
Now I want to ask you, because now this is this has been perfect. This is why it's easy to interview a podcast.
Thank you.
You're not just a podcaster, you're an actor. And there's
Right.
other things you do, in the creative side. If I had to ask you which one of the two you feel like you want to be recognized for, what
Mm.
would it be and why?
See, that's actually a very tough question because before I even thought about podcasting or radio, I always wanted to act, even though I didn't really fully recognize that I wanted to do that since I was 6 years old. I've told this
Mhm.
story plenty of times before where I saw Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, and I thought that Bruce Willis was the coolest guy in the world and I wanted to be him. And I saw the making of featurette of that movie and I was like, wow, it seems like the movie game is like really cool and it's something that I could see myself being a part of. But I never got a chance to apply myself, and some of that is my own doing, and some of them are the things that I couldn't control. But podcasting has led me into getting into acting finally, because, like I said, it presented opportunities that I didn't think I was ever going to get. So if I really had to come down to it, I think ultimately it would come down to podcasting because as much as I love acting, and I really genuinely do love it, I think that podcasting has allowed me to be myself, has allowed me to really make the connections that I've made more than than acting. And I'm going to continue to pursue it. And I want to get better on my craft, and I want to evolve as an artist, not just a podcaster or an actor in those realms, respectively, but just as an artist overall. But if I had to really come down to it and answer your question, I would have to go with podcasting because at the end of the day, I could see myself doing this even in my right on my deathbed because this is something that has been life changing for me, and most importantly, is the one spot, the one place, the one space where I could feel like I'm genuinely myself, and
Mhm.
not having to worry about what other people's opinions or thoughts are about me because I know that this has allowed me to be the most comfortable I've ever been in my skin. So to answer it fully, podcasting would be my answer.
And now, what's a piece of work that you're really, really proud of? Like whether it be a podcast episode or a featured film that you've been on or something that you've worked on for so long and you put blood, sweat, tears into it. And people equate success to money, but sometimes that's not the real meaning of it. To me, successful could be me finishing a product that I've been working on for a while. What is a
Yeah.
piece of work that you're super proud of?
So as far as first class, second place, which is my podcast, and it's going to be
Mhm.
soon with shared it with others, but we'll get into that a little later. There's a specific episode that I could really point out to where I want to shout out my fellow my guest on this episode. I forget the name of it, so I apologize, but it's with Carlos Villa, Joel Fermetta, and Dennis Machado, where we spoke about men's mental health. Now, one of the things that I was not expecting when I first started getting into this podcast game was being a mental health advocate, because like I said, this has allowed me to be comfortable in my skin and to talk to
Mhm.
people without having any barriers or walls up. I just feel like I could just come out with it just full throttle. And next thing you know, among my peers and other audiences, they really appreciated the vulnerability and the honesty about how I've been able to come across, especially with mental health being such a huge discussion of topic these days. And some of it is even a hot button issue, but also due to the fact that this is coming from a guy who is a minority, who's a Hispanic, who's a male, and you don't get to see a lot of these, or they're not talked about enough. And just me going out there and just saying whatever is on my mind and how I genuinely feel and so on and so forth, it has allowed people and inspired people to be open and honest with their feelings and their vulnerability and all of that stuff. And I wanted to expand on that a little bit more, where it wasn't just about me, it was also about fellow gentlemen that have been successful in their own rights, but they're no different from me. They're no different from anybody else who may be suffering or feeling alone or whatever. And I just think it was a really good discussion to let everybody know, whether you're a male, female, whatever the case may be, that you are not alone. And that's one conversation that I will always take with me. And it was very sophisticated. There also were some funny moments in there as well. And it would just let everybody know that it's okay to be not okay, but it's not the end of the world, and you are certainly not alone. So, with me becoming a mental health advocate within the community and with all my peers, I think that that's an episode that I'm certainly proud of because it really touches on who people view me as and what I'm about, as well as other men that I'm very proud to call my brothers, who are just as synonymous with their feelings as I am.
So this is so perfect because there's a piece that came out this weekend. So Marcelo Hernandez, the sketch comedy artist from
That's
Saturday Night Live, he just dropped a special called American Boy on Netflix.
yeah,
I have no association with him. This is not just saying watch it if you want. If you're a first generation Latino, you're Latino at all. It was well written and well produced. So he has a piece on mental health and also on depression in the whole special. Now he pokes fun of the fact that mental health and depression is a privilege and all that stuff, but also he opened the door for the conversation of like a man, Latino man specifically. What are they supposed to
Right.
be? You know, they're not supposed to show vulnerability. They're not supposed to talk about any of these things. Um, and this generation has really pushed that forward recently. And as far as like I'm talking about like people that are my age, my peers, your peers, they've been very open and honest about that. Um, and how it was viewed growing up. How'd you feel about the piece, and what'd you take from it?
So I haven't had a chance to see this yet, but I did. I definitely want to check it out.
So
But I love.
I
I
can
love.
give you one of the jokes. So
Okay.
one of the jokes, the premise of the joke is him and his sister walking up to his mother, who is a first generation Cuban immigrant, uh, explaining to her how they feel depressed. And the mom, in typical fashion, says, "Depression, you don't know what that is. I had to do X, Y, and Z. I came to this country." Yeah, he goes into a little soliloquy, which is kind of like a rap song. And he says, "If there's anyone that deserves to be depressed, that's me." But it's also, you know, that might be true, but it's also the other joke that he expounds on, which, again, you have to watch it. It's very well written. There wasn't a conversation for that, you know, like you weren't going up to your dad or your uncle and you weren't talking to them like, "Hey, how do you feel?" or like, "What's going on with you?" You know, like
Right.
it's the taboo thing where, you know, men are not supposed to talk about feelings. Men are not supposed to talk about what they're thinking. You know, suicide rate is 4 times higher for men than, you know, women. And we're not supposed to open up about any of that. That's basically, you know, a lot of people reposted it and it was hilarious and everybody laughed, but that's where the conversation led to. And you know, recently, Jose Cruz, Mozo, you, there's like a lot of mental health advocates that I really root for um, in this space.
Yeah.
Charlie Vargas also reposted it. How do you feel about that? And what brought that? What really changed that for you? Like, to be honest about how you felt, because there's till this day there's still men that have a hard time discussing those issues because those things don't exist for us.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to what I was saying before. You know, with my family, I'm the oldest of three, but I always felt like I was the black sheep of the family, and I kind of was reminded of it this past holiday season as well. But it just came from a place where I never felt like I even belonged in my own
Mhm.
family. And one of the things that, like, I give you an example. Like, one of the things that I remember when I told my family that I was actually going to therapy, and they were happy for me. They thought it was going to be good for me. But the
Mhm.
caveat was they were like, but whatever you do, just don't talk about what goes on in the family. And I thought that that was very counterproductive because part of a big reason as to why
It's
is
part of the
because of what I
process.
yes, part of the process. And it seems like they're worried about their own their own image, for lack of a better term,
Mhm.
than my own well-being. If that's the case, that's how I took it. So I just felt like, you know, being able to get down to what makes people tick. Whenever how I would have guests on my show, I just enjoy talking to people in general when I would have them on my show, and then it would kind of go off the rails where, in a good way, where something they would say would click in my head, and then afterwards I wanted to expand on that subject, and then
Mhm.
it just led me to down a path where I was just being raw and open and honest with myself and with the person that I was speaking to, who was in front of me, and this microphone, and eventually a camera. I don't know where it came from. It just kind of like, I wasn't expecting it. It just sort of happened. And I feel like, you know, sometimes, you know how strangers become your best supporters, or the people that actually give you validation and everything.
A thousand
So
percent, yeah.
right. So when I had the majority of these guests on that I pretty much didn't know from a can of paint, except for a couple of things that made me interested and wanted to talk to them in the first place, uh, that opened the floodgates for me talking to them. Kind of also forgetting that there was a microphone in front of me and just having these raw, honest. in vulnerable conversations that just happened to be recorded at the time, and then I just put it out there. I wasn't ashamed of it. I didn't have anything to hide. I've always been comfortable with what I had to say. I know what I mean, and I mean what I say. And I just figured, screw it. I'll just put it out there. If people gravitate to it, then great. If not, then I'm gonna just keep on doing it because I'm enjoying it. And this is actually, I think that also added to my consistency, because I feel like one of the things that people have given me credit for when it comes to podcasting is my consistency. Like, I just kept on going and I didn't stop. I mean, when I started with, it was audio only, and I was putting out 2 episodes a week. That's how much I love doing it.
That's a lot of podcasting for people.
Right.
That's 8 a month.
But it was easy to do because it was just audio only, and then I would just upload it. I didn't apply video just yet. But I feel like a part of the reason why I kept that consistency and kept on recording is because I needed to get all of these things out that were building up or I'd never shared with, and being able to create that space, that comfortable, safe space amongst my circle and around my surroundings, then that just opened the floodgates. And little did I know that it would actually resonate with a lot of people. And I've been very grateful that I've been able to speak my truth, speak the truth, and share with others that feel just the same as I do.
So let me ask you, do you still deal with some of these issues today? You know, like being the black sheep of the family, and how do you, what's a coping mechanism you use to change your perspective or your train of thought at that moment in time?
Well, like I said, I was actually reminded of that. I am still considered the black sheep of the family this past holiday season. But as a coping mechanism is to, I feel like it's something that I'm always going to deal with, and people in general are just going to deal with, because it's not something that ever really goes away. It's kind of like working out. It's like going to the gym. If you keep on working out and eating right and so on and so forth, your body's going to get right and it's going to get in shape. But the moment you stop, then it's going to go revert to its old ways. So I think one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to seeking professional help, like therapy or whatever, it's not a cure-all. It's not something that you go for a period of time and then afterwards you feel great and you feel like you're making progress. Then you're ready to take on the whole world and you want to thank the person that was in your corner that made you have this realization, and then you feel like you're cured. That's not how it works. It's something that you have to consistently work on a regular basis, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I would say a coping mechanism for me is actually just sitting in silence and kind of like accepting things for what they are, realizing that things are sometimes out of my control that I can't change, so I should just focus on the things that I should change. And I'm not a religious person per se, but there is that quote that is quoted all the time where, like, please God please let me accept the things that I can't change, things that I can change, and to say to know the difference between the two, something along those lines. But that's basically what I do as a coping mechanism. And I feel like just being by myself and just doing things that I like to do solo without any people around me has been a coping mechanism, in a sense that I'm finally comfortable in my own skin and I'm finally comfortable in my own company, where I don't feel like I need to be around a whole plethora of people around to feel like I'm worthy or I have validation or whatever. And I think that was one of the things that I needed to work on, that I realized at the time, where I needed to learn how to love myself. And once I learned how to do that and be comfortable with my own company, just being able to be with myself and just cope on my own without any help, because I understand what I'm capable of and what I can do and what I've been able to do, and just acknowledge the achievements and the accomplishments that I have so far, but also not to take them for granted, and not just use it as the end all be all, but also use it as another reason to just keep on going and keep on fighting. And I feel like as a podcaster, part of my duty is to keep on spreading the word. For if I'm doing this for myself, I should be also doing it for others who are willing to lend an ear and listen, and hopefully make their day as well.
And again, perfect segue. So thank you for that. And so you touched on it a little bit in the beginning. I want to ask, first class, second place, you said the origins of it, similar to the Rick H show, where it was me and I wanted to have multiple co-hosts and I wanted this idea but I didn't have the support around me. Uh, what is first class, second place? Why should people tune in? And when will it be back?
Yeah, so I really got the idea from the title. I wanted to do something original, so I went on every podcast website that you could think of, and anytime I wrote down something on a piece of paper, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't taken.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of podcasts out there that I noticed that they have. There's like 10 different podcasts that have the same name, and I just didn't want to be a part of that. I wanted something that was going to stand out and be unique. And one of the things that really inspired me is one of the things that I'm very proud of is that I'm a native of New Jersey. I was born
Mhm.
and raised here. I did spend some time in Florida, but ultimately I'm just a Jersey guy through and through. But we are
And a Jets
always,
fan.
yeah, but we've always been known as the little brother to New York. So there's like a little
Mhm.
brother complex. We're kind of like second fiddle, second place, so on and so forth. But I think that this is one of the best places in the world, if not just the country. I'm very proud to be from here. And so I kind of twisted that. And long story short, first class, second place, the real meaning behind it is being the best version of yourself, but never forgetting where you come from.
Oof. Damn, that's that marketing tool immediately. Elevator pitch to the pot. So originally you wanted to do it with co-hosts, and
Yeah.
that wasn't in the cards for you. So what'd you do to go on this journey where you're at? You almost at 200, right?
Yeah, episode 199 will be available tomorrow. Shout out to Chris Abalo, my guest on that episode.
Oh, Chris
Yeah.
got his own pod also.
Oh, yeah, he does. He does.
Um, so how'd you get into the journey, right? Which I
Mhm.
think you touched on in the beginning, but I want you to go in more details now. And how, at what point in this journey you feel like, yeah, this is for me. This is what I need to be doing. Like people are gonna ask because people like to have numbers. Like, at what episode did you? What was the moment where you were like, yeah, I think I'm onto something?
The moment that I realized that I'm onto something is when I got past episode 50 when it was still audio only.
Mhm.
And I was able, again, to work with people that I thought I would never have a chance to work with. And, I look at some of these people as legends, people that have had skin in the game. And being able to rub shoulders with them and go toe to toe with them, so to speak, and being able to hold my own in front of people that have been doing it way longer than I have, and me just doing it out of the pure joy of my heart. That was just all of that was all I really needed to continue, and I wouldn't trade the journey for anything.
Wow, beautifully put. So, the show normally drops on Wednesdays. There's
Yeah.
a small. You took a small break.
Hmm.
When
Yeah.
will it return? At what time? And this whole week of we're about to really create a community. That's what I want to do. So Jason's got his show. I got my show. We got the one together. Uh, there's some other project coming along also with that. What's the first class, second place slot? Where will it eventually land? Um,
Yeah.
we got
So
this one at 9 Mondays, and then we have the 2 a.m. crew on
right.
Tuesdays.
Yeah. So in full transparency, what I'm trying to do
Mm,
right now is I want first class, second place is on hiatus right now, but I do want to bring it back. But I'm going to be doing episode 200 just to get that out of the way, and then after that, I will be bringing people on as permanent co-hosts because, like I said, when I first thought of this idea, I wanted to be like Ebro in the Morning or The Breakfast Club or something where it wasn't just about me. Like I wanted to have deep, thoughtful conversations with people that I know that I can have these kind of conversations with. And I think I'm finally getting to a place where that is finally able to happen. But until we get all the kinks and everything worked out,
mhm.
that is going to be on indefinite hiatus. However, I also cannot see myself staying away from the microphone way too long. So I'm also in the process of starting my own solo show, the Jason Enrique Show, which should be coming out next month. It is just me, myself, and I, and my thoughts to the rest of the world. You may love me, you may hate me, but this is my truth. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and everybody's welcome. And also can't forget about the 2 a.m. crew. I mean, 2 a.m. crew, I've been very fortunate to be a part of it. I've had so much fun doing it. Sports is also another one of my passions. You know that I grew up on sports talk radio with WFAN, ESPN, and being able to do that and actually do it very efficiently with people that know what the hell they're doing and what they're talking about.
I'm very surprised with the knowledge of our guests and us as well. Like,
yes,
we did our first football season, and although be it as it may, we covered the Giants and the Jets a lot on our show because those are our hometown teams. But
the Yankees and the Mets too.
But we just did our full football season. We're probably going to go into baseball now that it's starting up in March. Small breaking news: it looks like Kyle Tucker might end up being a Met, but we'll wait to see the official reports to drop out. I think we had a great first season, although it was very disappointing. And now
our teams disappointed us.
Our teams, yes. So now we get to watch.
I'm proud of the work that we did, but our teams disappointed us.
Very, very proud. I also loved, we had Carlos on the show. We had Kai on the show. We had
Hugo Boy
on the show. We had it was last week. Jesus Christ. Dez on the show.
Oh yeah, how could I forget about Dez?
We had so many passionate and knowledgeable football people on so far in our first, and it was originally Jason wanted to do a football pod on his own, and I was like, we could cover it on, because this is a thing between him and I. I would give him an edge on the football knowledge. Because Jason knows assistant coaches, OCs, things like that, schemes. I know football very well, but I give him the nod over me because I know my team very well. He knows the league very well. In baseball, I feel like I know the sport, I know the game, I know the people inside and out. That's more my thing. So, and then we share the Knicks right in between. So it's a beautiful marriage between him and I. And we just finished our first football season, and now we get to recap these playoffs, which, by the way, the Chicago Bears games took it for me this weekend. I thought it was fantastic. So it's going to be great. I mean, people if they want to see interviews and stuff like that with me, I'll do it on Monday. We do our sports comedy and everything, culture on Tuesday. Then you'll do first class, second place. And then you get to do something for you. Because I do the show for me. I don't do it for people who are listening. I do it for my satisfaction. And this time around, I felt like I wanted to have people that I connect with and that I feel like I would like to spotlight a little more. And I started with Splu. Splu's in Aventura. He's in a Romeo Santos. What's the name of the other guy? Romeo just dropped an album. No, he dropped an album with what's the name of the other bachatero? Forgot his name.
Prince Royce.
Yes, so Royce and Romeo, they dropped an album together and they did a video, and Splu's in the video. So, and Splu's a guy that I've known for 5-6 years now, and when I met him, I was like, dude, you're gonna be a fucking star. And if you watch the episode with me and him, we talk about the story of when I came to the studio to do their podcast. And at the point in time, I was like, yo, why he's not the host? This dude is something else. And I've always sent him messages and stuff. So I feel like people that need an extra love, an extra another look, so to speak. So that's what this package of the Rick Show is, this incarnation of the Rick Show. So so talk to me a little bit more of your acting career. Where is that going? What are you working on? What are some pieces of advice you would give actors out there now? Because that's not an easy game to get into.
No, it's not. I've been very proud to. Well, let me start off by saying that I get complimented on my voice all the time. So I wanted to apply myself with doing the voice acting first. And then I got in touch with some people that actually wanted me to do actual real acting as opposed to just voice acting. And I was a little
Voiceover
hesitant.
work.
Yeah, and I was a little hesitant at first, but I was like, you know what? It's a foot in the door. Whatever, I'll do it. And I couldn't have been more happy to do it. I was on a TV show that people could actually watch on YouTube right now. It's called Nights with a K. It's like, I want to call it like the a poor man's Jersey version of Vampire Diaries. That's basically what it is. I even got a chance to direct an episode, so I thought that was pretty cool. Get in the director's chair a little bit. I've been
Yeah.
I've been also I've been on the Uncle Sid, which is a short film where I played a detective. I also did a couple other things, but I don't know why it's escaping my mind right now. But I was also part of
Did
King
you
of
do
Newark 3.
Alliance 2 Broken Rules?
No, I did not.
So there's an imposter, Jason Enrique, in IMDb. And brother, I gotta set one of these up for you. It says Love and Hatred in the Mega Wave City.
Oh yes, I was part of that. Yeah.
So you didn't play a police officer in Alliance 2 Broken Rules?
You know what? You're right.
I think this might be you. It is you.
It is me. Yeah. You know what?
It is you. Okay, good.
I have to get my resume up. I have to update it because I think I kind of went under the radar with that one. Yeah.
All right, so I mean, you got some credits here. I mean, you got there's a bunch of other ones that you have to include onto this thing.
Yeah, I mean, King of Newark 3, that was also a big one. Shout out to my boy Zeus. That was also my co-star on that.
Night is getting a sequel.
It's getting a reboot actually.
Yes.
Yeah, it's getting a reboot. Coming out very soon. We're actually going to be filming it next week, but it'll probably be out until maybe the May, around my birthday. It's called Vampire Town, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And I'm looking forward to it because it gives people an opportunity to see me more than just a cop or a crook.
Wow. So when you go to casting calls, is that your main call? Like, hey, you look like a great detective, or you look like the typecasting? Does that really, is it, or are you willing to take any role right now, or are you looking for specific stuff to show some range and your interest in other realms?
Well, it's funny you mention that because I am doing an actor's workshop every Monday, except for today, obviously.
Very good.
But yeah, I'm doing that basically to expand my horizons and be able to, do more and than what I've been getting so far. As of right now, unfortunately, it has been a little bit of a typecasting situation where we have a little bit of a running joke where I tell my friends that, hey, I just booked something, and they were like, oh, okay, cool. What is it? A cop or a crook this time? And it's usually one or the other. I'll even tell you right now with Uncle Sid, I got that. That was like my one of my first acting roles, and I got that simply from my voice and my hair, and with barely a resume. And that's all they really needed. And it was actually something that I was really proud of, with, not only because of the film itself, but the people that I got a chance to work with. Shout out to Corey, shout out to Mina, shout out to Andromeda. It was just a really, really fun experience out on Long Island.
So are you looking for now you're like, I want to see if I could get into a comedy or a drama, or is there something on the bucket list early on?
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm a little bit of a hopeless romantic. So if I can get into a rom-com, yeah, I mean, okay. I've been told I've been pretty funny, not shabby, but I am a little bit of a hopeless romantic. I do love romance, so if I could be able to show off my romantic acting chops, I think that would be really cool.
Okay, so all right, rom-com, that's a good one.
Yeah,
have you done any writing? So usually some actors early on decide to write roles for themselves and then do some independent stuff.
Yes, actually, I am in the process of writing my very first short film. It's untitled right now, but it is based on a true story that happened in 2019. Me personally, I'm really looking forward to that, and I'll just announce it right now. I'm looking forward to working with Alana Johnson as the director of this short film. So currently writing that right now. Shout out to Alana, love you, girl. And once I get that, once I finish that script, which I'm maybe 25% done right now, then we'll be able to work out everything else. But yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I think something like this will be able to show a different side of what people have been used to already with Jason Enrique on the screen so far.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. But the voiceover, man, So you and I get the same. When I was a young kid, I worked in the McDonald's on 181st Street, and
Okay.
then this is I was taking this man's order, and he was like, have you ever thought of opera singing or being in the opera or the ballet?"
Oh wow.
And this guy was like, I don't know if he was in production or writing or I was like, no. He's like, you have a very distinctive voice, and he's like, you should try to make money with it some way or some form or fashion. And I was 18 years old. I was like, oh, is this guy for real right now? I mean, is it the number two or the number one, dude? Like, just I don't got time for this. And I never really realized how unique my voice was
Yeah.
until I got into radio in college, and I started doing other things where it stood out. So we get the same thing, but opera, Jason, have you ever thought
Yes.
of opera? Well, I told the guy I don't know Italian, and I don't have a classically trained voice.
Right.
Would you like
Well,
some fries with that, sir?
well, not necessarily opera, but I actually have shared this on an episode of First Class Second Place with one of my favorite episodes that I've ever done. Shout out to Jenny Ruiz. She was my guest on the show because she's also a phenomenal actress and she's done singing as well. When I was a kid, I wasn't a particularly big fan of the movie, but I really loved the music of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I found myself as a kid basically singing along with them. But when I would sing along these songs when I was a kid, I was like actually working on to perfect it and make sure that it actually sounded great as opposed to just singing Kuna Matata just for the hell of it.
Mm.
So if I was given an opportunity, like if there was like an opportunity, like there was a Disney film where that still do like musical numbers and
Live action to be the Hunchback of Notre Dame or a villain in the film.
I'll do either or because I feel like I could touch on both characters
Mhm.
very evenly. So I could definitely do work on the vocals for sure, but making sure that my voice along with my performance, mashing together, that'll be the real key. And it's just going to take a lot of work, but I'm looking forward to the challenge if it presents itself.
Nice. So let's talk about some pieces of film
Yeah,
or television that you love, admire, and if we could call up the writer and write up a role for you,
yeah.
give me three shows and what role you like the most in the show.
So I don't know if you ever watched the show 24 with
I
Kiefer Sutherland.
didn't, but it's one of those shows that everybody told me about.
Yeah,
That and Sons of Anarchy, because FX was on a roll
right.
for some time. I think there was one with Glenn Close. Forget the name of the show. There was The
Damages.
Shield, Damages, The Shield, Sons of Anarchy, and 24.
Yeah,
And those are four shows I still to this day have not seen. So
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. So I love the show 24. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen, and Kiefer Sutherland was just a beast. I love his character, and more often than not, every time I would watch an episode, I could see myself playing him more because this is not a guy that's super strong like Stallone or Schwarzenegger, or whatever. It's just an everyday guy who just needs to do what he feels like is right, and he will
Mhm.
stop at no expense to get that done. And Kiefer Sutherland has a phenomenal speaking and singing voice, so I feel like we would sync as far as that's concerned. There's actually a TV show that I'm watching right now on HBO Max called The Pit. It's a hospital procedural show. Shout out to
Uh-huh.
Noah Wiley because I think that his character is phenomenal, and I can see myself playing something along those lines of somebody that is a first responder and somebody that's also fighting his own demons as well, but also
Mhm.
risking it all to save people's lives. And from a, this is actually going to be funny, but one of my favorite sitcoms of all time is The King of Queens, where I'm not the biggest Kevin James fan in the world as far as stand up, but I am a sports fan like him. I am a truck driver like him. I'm looking for a high carry to be my wife one day. And Yeah, I am a little bit of a bigger guy, but I'm actually pretty physical as well. So maybe add a little bit of the bigger guy physical comedy in that as well. I think that would actually work out, and it would be also a good representation of Latino men as well.
So those are three television shows. What about three films and roles that you three good ones, by the way. King of Queens is one of my all-time favorites. 24, as I mentioned, I've seen, and The Pit I have not watched, but it's on my queue in HBO
Right.
Max. So
Three, yeah,
film,
three films. Well, like I said before, I thought Bruce Willis was the coolest guy in the world. So John McClane, ever since I was 6 years old, I wanted to be John McClane, rescuing the city of New York from a bomb. That's what I was thinking of at that age. One of my all-time favorite actors in the world is Denzel Washington. And even though this might not be his best performance, but it's a performance that I can see myself really chomping at the bit to show my acting chops, would be John Q. You know, the fact that, you know, he's trying to save his son, and it's a very emotionally challenging film and so on and so forth. And I think that, you know, that would be a good way to really challenge myself as an actor, possibly. And the third one, I would have to say, I really love Jack Nicholson's character, and As Good as It Gets. We were talking about rom-coms. It's one of my favorite rom-coms, and this is a guy who is just
one of my wife's favorite films.
Yeah.
Ever. I didn't watch it till she played it for me.
Yeah. Melvin Udall, he's a complicated character, but there's a lot of layers to him. And look, I'll just be honest, people have said that I've been difficult to work with in the past before, so I feel like I could be a heel, but a lovable guy at the end. So, and also get to show off my romantic chops as well. So I would say John McClane, John Q, and Melvin Udall.
Now, this is interesting. You're a Jersey guy, and you didn't even mention possibly one of the greatest shows I've ever written on television, which
The Sopranos.
You already know where I'm going with this. Why is that? Is that because that's just your taste in television, or was that done purposely?
So, I mean, I love The Sopranos. It was actually my favorite show of all time until Breaking Bad beat it. So now Sopranos is number 2 and Breaking Bad is number 1.
So
but
you think Breaking Bad, I think we need to have a poll about this. Breaking Bad over Sopranos. I mean, they're both in my top 5.
Right. Well, I just think that Breaking Bad is the greatest TV show I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
what if I tell you there would be no Breaking Bad without The Sopranos? Because Tony Soprano was the first.
Because he was the first anti-hero on television. You know,
that show made it cool to be that type of person.
Yeah, same thing with The Shield. I mean, The Shield was another one of my favorites, and that was where you kind of rooted for the bad guy as well.
So. I'm sorry to interrupt, but go ahead on your Sopranos take.
So I love The Sopranos, one of my favorite all-time shows ever, and I'm very proud of it due to the fact I'm a little biased because it is a Jersey show. Every single episode that I've watched, I'll be like, oh, I know where that is. That's Paramus, that's Bergen County, that's Patterson, this, that, and the third. So there's a lot of familiarity with that show. I just feel like James Gandolfini played that role so perfect that I don't think that it should be touched by anybody. That's including myself. Maybe
but any other role in like I would have, for me,
I probably could have been Wally.
James Gandolfini made the show,
right?
But if you gave me a choice to pick a character, I think Chrissy, just the layers to him and just the he's the only one that really pulled out like any kind of sentimental or like emotions out of Tony.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a scene where they're in the car and they're opening up about mental health. This is
right.
A beautiful tie-in right now. And I really need to cut this piece and put that scene in. But it's like they open up the door and then they start joking about it. And then Tony knows, like, all right, I could talk to Chrissy about some of these thoughts, but not, you know, let him know that this is what's going on.
Right.
So for me, I think that Chrissy would be, I mean, for me, he's a harder role to play. Just because of everything that he the arc and then the falls and everything that goes through on that show. But besides Tony, who would be someone?
Paulie.
Paulie,
Because Paulie is funny. People kind of underestimate him, and he's been able to show people wrong. And he does have a tough exterior, and he's funny, and he probably doesn't know how to say things at the right time. You know, like sometimes he doesn't read the room too well, so which is a little bit a part of my personality at times. But you see the scenes even with his mother, and you see like layers peeling back of him of like this guy who actually does have a heart, as opposed to just having a hard exterior and just being old school in a society that he doesn't understand. So I think I would actually have a lot of fun with the Paulie character, and I don't feel like he's talked about enough. I think that when people mention the best characters, they always mention Tony, they always mention Chrissy, they mention Silvio, and I feel like Paulie doesn't get the love that he deserves.
No, top three in that show has to be Paulie, Chrissy, and Tony. And Paulie, one of the greatest Sopranos episodes ever is the
Barons.
Is the one where Chrissy and Paulie go to collect money. And Tony's on the phone. He's like, the guy's a Green Beret. And they lose him in the.
That's the Pine Barrens.
Yeah, that episode, it shows Paulie's range.
Right.
That one and the one where the people that he's killed in the past, and he goes to the median.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I don't know if you know this, but that episode was directed by Steve Buscemi.
It was.
Yeah.
That makes it even better for me.
He directed a couple episodes, and that was one of them.
Now I need to look. That's a beautiful nugget for me.
Right.
What's it called? The Pine
Barrens.
That's one of my wife's favorite Soprano episodes ever.
Yeah. The guy was a Czechoslovakian. He was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
He's an interior. His house looks like shit. And she's also a big Steve Buscemi fan from Boardwalk Empire. So if I tell her that's crazy. And Terrence Winter obviously wrote it.
Right. Yeah.
That's one of the best Sopranos episodes ever.
Some people have actually rated it as the number one episode of the Sopranos. Like everybody always says that if you're gonna watch one episode of that show, it's that one, The Pine Barrens.
I mean, because I think I don't know what. Let me see, because I have it up here.
Yeah.
I want to know what season it was. Season 3, episode 11.
Yep.
So at that point, they had established what the show was, and they just took it somewhere completely different with this one, and it's like a weird, completely different episode. Like there's episodes where Tony has the flashbacks, and the dreams and stuff, and those are cool. But I think that there's some interesting writing in some of these shows. That's why it makes it the best. And they push boundaries, man. And it was the first of its kind. Right. I would say The Wire, The Sopranos, and Breaking Bad are 3 of the greatest shows ever produced on television.
I agree.
Would tell anybody, if they asked me what should I watch, Sopranos was on for 7 seasons, so that's what for me puts it over the top from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But I think if you do a show and you do 5, 6, 7, 5, 6 seasons, you've done great work. And The Wire was 5, but Breaking Bad was 5.
Breaking Bad was 5. Yeah, no, I mean, anytime I want to watch a new show and it doesn't gain my interest, I always revert to either one of those 3.
And to me, Game of Thrones is one that I love, but it starts off really slow. People told me the same about Breaking Bad, and I just have to tell them, hey, you got to get through it. Like it's a lot going on in the first few episodes. They're layering stuff for you, and you're learning characters. So it's just from objective point. What is a show that you're a fan of that people would be surprised? Like if you're like, hey, I'm a show of The View. The View is one of my favorite.
That's a good question. Wow, because that's a little bit of a hard question because at the same time, I'm more of a movie guy than a TV show guy. Mm-hmm. Oh, but I'll give you this.
We'll do both.
Yeah, but I'll give you this. It's probably not a surprise, but it may be a surprise. So during COVID, first and foremost, I am not a reality TV show guy at all. I never really have been. Never really cared for it. I never even thought it was real to begin with.
I
It's
think
just pure trash.
it's unscripted television. That's what
Right.
that's
Yeah, as they market it.
yeah.
But during COVID, when this show came out, I was completely against it. I was contrarian, like fuck this show. I don't want anything to do with it. That's not real, whatever. But then during COVID, I ended up binge watching Jersey Shore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what possessed me to start watching it, but once I started watching it, I couldn't stop, and I absolutely loved it.
I think everybody should have one unscripted television show in their repertoire. For me, it's 90 Day Fiance, but
Okay.
it's good for the soul. Jersey Shore, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I mean, it's
It
definitely
spoke
the best
to you in your
reality
Jersey.
TV show I've seen.
None of those people are from Jersey. It spoke to your Jersey.
Well, there was also a little bit of layers there, like for instance with the situation. I mean, we all know how much of a douchebag he was in the earlier days, and he was dealing with a lot of drugs and alcohol and a lot of things. And the way that he did a complete 180 with
and
his
I cheer for that guy now.
I mean, that's just inspirational. Like, if a douchebag like that could be the most likable guy in the room, then there is hope for me after all.
And what's like an underrated film that you love that people are like, oh, I don't know, and you recommend it to people, but this one
So I'll give you this, and
surprise me, Jason.
Okay, so I would say that not only adding to that, but it would also be my directing inspirational film. Like every time I watch that movie, I want to be a fucking director. Everybody always talks about Michael Mann and Heat, but the one movie that does it for me is Collateral.
Really, this is I've never watched this film.
Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx.
Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx. What about it? That I've never watched the film.
Oh my God, you have to watch it. So, Tom Cruise plays a contract killer, and Jamie Foxx is his cab driver who basically is taken hostage by him. So they go all over Los Angeles, making these hits that Tom Cruise has to do in one night. That's basically the premise. But what I love about the movie is that it's very character driven, where like the longer the night goes, the more you find out about both their characters. And from a technical standpoint, Michael Mann, I think, is one of the best directors out there of all time. And the way that he was able to capture the essence of what Los Angeles is, from a guy that has never been to Los Angeles before and been able to watch that movie, I feel like I got what the whole vibe of Los Angeles is like. And the cinematography, the music, the score, the dialogue, everything to me was just perfect about it. And it also basically looked like it was made on a shoestring budget. Like they didn't go really, go a big budget film of like they basically just squeezed every dollar that they cut out of a low budget and they made it into a top flight flick as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so Michael Mann's known for several films. He's known for
Heat,
Black Hat, Public Enemy, Miami Vice, The Aviator, Ali, Heat. I thought Michael Mann had something to do with Men on Fire. Now that's
Tony Scott.
There it is. So when you mentioned Denzel, right?
Yeah.
I think that's one of his greatest pieces of work, and you mentioned John Q and Out of Time. Those are all the good ones. But I think Man on Fire, he was brilliant. It was perfect.
He was great.
He should have fucking won for that one. As far as like Denzel, he should have won for a few of them. But to me, Man on Fire. Let me see. What was released in that era?
That was 2004.
Wow. So hold on. 2004. Because the thing is giving me.
Yeah, because I was a senior in high school when that movie.
John Q was 2002. I mentioned Out of Time. Out of Time was 2003. Right. And Man on Fire was 2004. So you see the like Out of Time, super underrated Denzel movie. Great movie, right? But Man on Fire, Denzel was at his peak and his prime in that film.
Absolutely.
And if you just watch it, like Then he ended up going into American Gangster 2007, but damn, he Denzel had a nice run because he did Inside Man 2006, Deja Vu, which I also think is pretty good.
I like Deja Vu.
This was all after Training Day, so to me, he was great, but
dude,
he took it to another level in those years.
Dude, speaking of Tony Scott and Denzel working together, Tony Scott's last movie before he died was Unstoppable with him and Chris Pine on the train. One of the best movie theater experiences I've ever had in my life. That's an underrated film, and seeing it on the big screen was one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Yeah, so I thought it was Michael Mann, but it is Tony Scott that did the film.
Right.
And he's one of those unstoppable, you're right. He also did Pelham 1, 2, 3, Deja Vu, Domino, Spy Game, which is a great movie with
speaking of which,
and Brad Pitt.
Speaking of
oh my God.
Speaking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, I forget his name. I forget his real name, but he played Chris Partlow in The Wire. Shout out to him because I actually got a chance to work with him on a movie set this past fall.
Oh, I don't want to butcher his name. He's so good. He's such a Benga.
That's what it is. Benga. The G is silent.
Benga Akibe.
Yeah, I just call him Chris Partlow from The Wire.
Everybody does.
Yeah, but a phenomenal guy. I got a chance to work with him. Got a chance to talk to him. Super humble, super cool, very funny. He was just
Beverly Hills Cop also.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Last Boy Scout, True Romance. These are all classics.
Oh my God! If you want to talk about Ramon, he loves The Last Boy Scout. He could speak to you an hour about The Last Boy Scout.
It's such a great film.
Yeah.
Underrated film that Damien
Wayans
did with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
People don't talk about it enough. Sports film. We had this sports film conversation, and it should be in there. So, we did an hour, 15, hour 20. Tell the people, I'm going to go full screen on my man Jason right here, where they could catch you on, and when they could finally see your solo show and the First Class Second Place and any film or project you're working on current.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Jason Enrique. I am the co-host of the First Class Second Place podcast and the soon-to-be Jason Enrique show, along with Rick H and the 2 a.m. crew every Tuesdays on his network. Check out for new episodes of First Class Second Place and the Jason Enrique show coming out soon. We're looking at either March or April. That's the shooting date that we're going for. And also just working on some more projects and working on my first script and more to come on that front in the near future. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for checking out my story. Thank you for supporting Rick and the 2 a.m. crew. And Rick, thank you so much for having me not just a part of the show, but also being part of the fold and part of 2 a.m. crew. And I've just been very fortunate to have met people like you in this endeavor. And again, I wouldn't change it for nothing. So thank you guys. Thank you, Rick. And thank everybody for watching and listening. And we'll catch you guys soon. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Jason. Thank you for giving me an additional hour and 15 on a Monday. I truly appreciate it. And you can catch us tomorrow at 9 o'clock on the 2 a.m. crew. I appreciate it, brother. I had such a great time. And I hope people got away from this episode and get to know you a little bit better.
Right.
We'll see you guys next week on Monday at 9. But you can catch us tomorrow at 9.
Yes.
Good night.
2 a.m. crew, baby.
2 a.m. crew.
You feel that now? I feel like Rocky in this one, baby. Let's go. Alright, check it. Blast from the past, back from the future, so if I pull the trigger in the past, it's no you and your future. I'm still hustling, still hugging the block. The referee to the shit, I'm still calling them shots. I can't be stopped, that's what I told you. I'm living my life like a box of Crayolas. I'm cutting up white, smoking that green. Purple color pens, I'm still making this cream. I'm so sick, check my throat quick. My wrist light up a room like a handful of glow sticks. I'm like spoiled milk, the kids gone bad. Then it's the minutes my pen touches the